How do you actually go about living your mission? To what extent is it done through the same method you use for making a living so you can pay your bills? And to what extent can this be done outside of the work world? It's a tough question. But we'll explore some of the issues in this lesson and the kind of advice Edgar Cayce gave people. But first, let's consider how work is nowadays a much more flexible word than it used to be. I talked with Charles Thomas Cayce about how people in today's world often have much more time and energy for personal spiritual searches than people in previous centuries, giving us a chance to find meaningful, fulfilling activities both within our regular jobs and our free time activities. And he underscores the principle that being successful with one's mission may very well not involve grandiose accomplishments. It may simply be a matter of doing well the little things in life. As we enter this new millennium, the nature of work and career is changing so fast. How can a mission statement help someone?
Mark, these days there are so many pulls on our time and energy, so many things to do, that I think we become distracted and often frustrated and begin to search for meaning and more fulfillment in our life. And that search takes place in our careers, in our relationships. Also, there is a theory that these days, for most of us, especially in the West, we no longer have to spend so much time and energy looking for food, providing safety for ourselves and our family, and that frees up more energy to work on this area of meaning and fulfillment in our life. And I think that's happening, especially in our Western culture. Also, there are people moving as adults 4 times in our lifetime. We move residences. Also, 6 times as adults we change jobs. There's lots of change going on. I think of mission statement as a focus for our time and energy. It gives us a sense of direction for our activities, a kind of measuring stick or guide as we proceed with our daily lives.
Now, is it always something grand, even grandiose, or full of big challenges?
Oh, I don't think so. You know, my grandfather, Edgar Cayce, gave advice for thousands of people who asked him questions about their life purpose. And among those thousands of people, he told 18 people that they had fulfilled their life purpose. And as a psychologist, it's interesting to look at the lives of those 18 people. 14 of those were women, 4 were men. Hopefully that doesn't mean that women can do this quicker than men, but these people, as you look at their lives, were not making piles of money or building great buildings or accumulating rooms full of trophies. These were really people on the street, working with love and service in their lives on a day-by-day basis.
For some people, success with their mission in life may come through volunteer work, hobbies, and interests, rather than through a paying job. But for others, the economic reality is they need to spend most of their time earning a living, and naturally they'd like to get double duty from that employment, earning an income to pay the bills and doing those things that fulfill a deeper calling. It may not be easy to step into a job that gives you a spiritual sense of satisfaction. Many business environments are stressful and highly competitive. Bosses feel the pressure to produce material results and usually pass the tension on to their employees. However, you may well be able to find a niche that fits you, even if you have to create one for yourself. But why might you be thinking about switching jobs? Maybe it's one of these 2 reasons. Your current job really is out of sync with your mission in life, or to get away from an uncomfortable situation with the boss or fellow employees. Let's think more carefully, though, about both of them. If you're currently in the work world and feel out of sync with your mission statement, what's really going on? Does your work require actions that violate your ideals and values? Does it feel like you're actually going counter to your spiritual destiny? Or does your work feel more or less neutral, violating no personal ideals, but at the same time leaving you with wheels spinning and no sense of progress toward your mission? If you can clearly see that your present employment is actively taking you away from your soul's purpose a change is called for as soon as possible. On the other hand, if you see that your job is neutral, you may want to explore some adjustments before quitting. And then what about a work situation that makes you feel uncomfortable? Before assuming that you could never be true to yourself and stay there, make sure you've done all you can to heal the situation. See if there's a growth opportunity for you in the problem. And don't give up until you've given it your best shot. Sometimes the biggest problem we face is what to do if the current job feels like it's a dead end. I asked Charles Thomas Casey this question, and he suggested 3 angles on how to face the difficulty.
Now, what happens if you're in a dead-end kind of career and you feel like you'd love to live your mission in life, but any kind of switch is pretty unrealistic right now?
Well, here are 3 suggestions. 1, re-examine the career that you're in. Let me give you an example of that. A woman attended one of our conferences on finding your mission in life, and she was ready to change careers. She had become frustrated in her work as selling dresses to women with fuller figures. However, that work had been very enjoyable and fulfilling to her for many years. She thought of that work as really a cover for counseling these women concerning their self-image, and the selling of the dresses was really an aside. The dress store was very successful. It changed management. The new manager said, you need to spend less time with each customer. And this became frustrating immediately for this woman, and she was ready to change jobs. However, after some discussion, we decided she should go back and have a heart-to-heart talk with her manager, which she did. He allowed her more time with each customer, and she was back into this situation of feeling fulfilled and excited about her old career.
What's another way to deal with this dead-end feeling?
The second is to talk to an expert. Get an outside opinion from your human resources person at your current work, or perhaps a vocational guidance counselor who can give you an interest inventory of some sort.
Yeah. Are any other suggestions?
Yes, another one is to use non-work time to explore areas in your life that are exciting and fulfilling for you.
Those 3 points are worth looking at a little more closely. Re-examine your current career, seek expert advice, and use non-work time. Let's start with the first one. When Edgar Cayce offered advice in his readings for vocational guidance, he suggested some questions be considered when we re-examine our current careers. Are you keeping the big picture and seeing the good that is being done? In other words, sometimes we lose touch with the fact that our jobs really are part of something that's trying to better the lives of others. The day-to-day frustrations can sometimes fog a person's vision and appreciation for what they're already part of doing. That's not to say that there isn't time to sometimes move on to things that are new, but remember that there are bound to be frustrations no matter where you work. Second, ask yourself, have I done all I can do to change what is unsatisfying? Before quitting whatever job you already have, make sure you've done the best you can with communicating your needs and changing things in yourself so that you're the best possible worker in that situation. Otherwise, you'll just carry with you to the next job the same patterns in yourself, and you're almost sure to encounter the same problems again. And third, consider that maybe you can find a new role right there in the place where you're already working. Maybe that means a transfer into another department. Maybe it means getting retrained so that you can end up with work that leaves more opportunities to do what's fulfilling to you. Charles Thomas Casey's second point was to seek expert advice. That can certainly come from vocational counselors, but just as valuable may be seeking out people who are already doing what you feel called to do. Find out how these men and women got into the place they are now. What kind of inner and outer work was required? Perhaps one of them would even be willing to be your mentor. You may also find expert advice from books, such as the classic What Color is Your Parachute? It's very focused on practical steps of retooling your current career or finding a new job. Books like these can even be more helpful once you have a sense of your own mission statement, like you've achieved by completing this course. Charles Thomas Casey's third point was to use non-work time to fulfill some aspects of your mission statement. Don't expect your job to fulfill all your needs to be creative and helpful. It's in the little things of life that we very often find the most important ways that we fulfill a mission statement. Small acts of kindness. Bringing your special qualities and gifts to the day-to-day interactions with friends, family, and neighbors. Making use of the countless volunteer needs and opportunities that exist in most communities.